Well, guys, what's up? What's going on out there this morning, today, wherever you are, whatever time it is? Hey, Brent Abel here, webtennis.com, with another episode of another reality check. And the title of today's episode is Here's Why. You, I used to, once in a while, still do, but keep making the same mistakes. And I'm going to tell you why we do it, and then I want to give you some ideas of how to actually stop doing it so that we keep getting better as players. Look, guys, before we get into it, yeah, here's I just got back from a little short, I don't know, 20-minute walk. I like to get out there in the morning and get a little sunshine on the eyelids, the eyeballs, kind of get that thing going. But here we are, Mission Hills Country Club, Rancho Mirage, California, California desert. This is about a 45-second walk from our house in Mission Hills. Grass courts. The boys are out there this morning lining the grass for us chuckleheads to get out there and play this morning. Anyway, just want to give you a little dose of what's happening here. And yeah, look, here's why you keep making the same mistakes. Number one is that you think there's a formula. You think there's some method that you can perfect so that you never ever miss another, let's say, topspin forehand, for example. And I just, man, I used to think that way. I said, there's got to be a way here. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe there's something the top players realize that I just don't get, right? In terms of being able to never ever miss this topspin forehand again. And the reality is it's just it's weird because like if you go if you watch the pros, right? And it's all relative, right? They're having to deal with much tougher shots coming into them than we are, all that kind of stuff. But do they miss? Do they make unforced errors? Yeah, they do. And so it's relative in terms of we have slower ball speeds, less rotation in the top, all that kind of stuff. But it's just it's weird thinking that we think that, well, maybe there's some formula that we're just missing out on. Some formula that would make it so that we would just never ever miss this shot again. And so what happens is we get out there, and when we do miss, we get all pissed off. I mean, we just this self-messaging, the way that we initially respond to missing a shot absolutely puts the brakes on any kind of learning, absolutely stops any kind of improvement about what you just did. And look, the reality is we're going to miss. The best players. You know what they do differently? They miss less. That's it right there. They just miss fewer times um, than everybody else, and that's why they're good. So look, I mean, can you hit as good a topspin forehand up the line winner as they do? Yeah, you sure can. But you know what happens is you miss more often, and it's your initial response to missing, which could be you get all pissed off, right? You just call yourself an idiot. Really? Really? You missed that one? Okay, does that help? No. Or you let the whole world know, ah, man, yeah, spacing, right? You let everyone know that you know what you did wrong, right? But the self messaging doesn't get through in terms of helping you miss less in the future. And so, look, here's what I want you to do. Um, I want you to work on how are you going to initially respond to missing, whether it's in a match, whether it's in a practice set, whether it's in a drill session. The way that you initially respond to it is absolutely enormous because if you do it in a super negative way, any potential learning stops. In fact, it's probably a step backwards, right? It just Look, I used to do this. I used to get so upset when I'd miss a ball, and just it was dumb. I mean, I finally just started watching the top players, and I realized they're not doing what I'm doing. And in reality, they're just like I said before, they're missing so much less, so fewer than I am, that there's got to be something there. And the something there is the initial response to missing. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to be thinking more um, in a way that would go, let's say that you miss it wide, right? You take a topspin forehand, you miss a thing wide. Rather than getting ticked off, just start telling yourself, okay, next time, next time I'm going to bring this thing way inside the sideline. And if you can't do that, if you can't think that way, then you are so untrusting of staying in the point, right? You want to get out of the point. You're looking for the exit because you don't believe, you don't trust that it's okay to stay in the point by, not going for an inch or two inside that sideline. Instead of going, look at, you know what? I'm going right up the middle of that half of the court. If the guy gets to it and touches it, that's fine. Maybe they'll cough up something that I can really take advantage of. But you've got to start responding differently. And it's not like some kind of stoic thing where you're just after you miss a ball where there's just absolutely no feeling at all. I'm just not going to feel anything. I'm just going to white knuckle my way through this between points thing and get ready for the. No, you're not going to do that. That makes it worse. I've tried that. I thought, well, just have no emotional response. And my interpretation of that was, well, let's just go ahead and not think. Let's not feel. Let's just get super tight. Let's just, as I said, white knuckle it. Never worked. It made it worse. So rather than getting upset and letting the world know what you did wrong, as if that's a thing, no one cares. And in fact, when I hear that, I just go, man, this guy's just a mental midget, right? Just so when you miss, okay, accept reality. We're going to miss shots for the rest of our tennis career. And the whole thing here is when you respond, it's just accepting that reality, but let's miss less by simply telling yourself, the example I'm using, if you're going up the line with this topspin forehand, we're not gonna let it drift wide, right? We're gonna take the sideline. Thanks, Dave Severson. We're gonna take the sideline out of it, and just tell yourself next time that's what you're gonna do. Maybe you need to go higher over the top of the net. Whatever it is, make that adjustment rather than getting all pissy and berating yourself as if that's going to if that's going to make you a better player. It's just not. So that would be the first thing to do. And look, that's sort of the first part, right, of our between points routine is how do you emotionally control what just happened? What was the result of the end of that point? Right? We just talked about, well, like if you make an unforced error, well, the emotional control should be, that's normal. I'm going to miss once in a while. Like now, when I miss, I kind of go, "Whoa, okay." There's that reality. I feel like I am missing so fewer shots than ever before. I'm not a pusher, right? Still trying to hit a quality ball to a target. I'm just okay now, not needing to hit the winner. I'm okay now, letting the guy over there touch it. And does this bring fitness into the whole equation? Of course. If you're not fit, if you can't stay in the point another shot or two or three, then I can see why you would start hoping that you can work on something to where you perfect it to where you never miss it. Sorry, man, that's just never ever going to happen. So, yeah, how you emotionally respond is key. That self-messaging, what you tell yourself immediately after missing a shot is number one. And then after that, you know what the four parts between points routine is. I like to breathe, kind of clear out whatever it was. Maybe it's a recovery thing. Number three, that's the second part. The third part is, all right, how are we going to start this next point? What do we want to do tactically? But I feel like the emotional response number one and then the breathing part number two kind of clears out everything and gets me back to clarity in terms of how do I want to start the next point. And then, of course, the fourth thing is just a little positive self pump, right? All right, love this. Here we go. So if you've not yet picked up my four parts between points routine, you got to get in this. Just go to webtennis.com. And yeah, you can get access to that free course, 9-minute video. It's going to get you started on it. And so there you have it. Guys, hope this has been helpful today. I want to make sure that number one, you're accepting the reality that you're never ever going to find some kind of magic bullet so you'll never ever miss a topspin forehand, for example, again. And it's just reality. So the whole thing is, well, how do we miss fewer? How do we miss less? And and a lot of that is how you respond at the end of missing. So hope that makes sense. Would love to hear from you down below. Any questions, comments, remarks? I love to read your stuff. And I always promise to respond. Might take me a few days to get to you, but I will. And then, of course, look, if you are playing tight, you're getting nervous, anxious at the end of games, maybe you got a 40-15 lead and you start to cough those up, maybe the end of the set or a match. I want to help you bust through those nerves so that you got some real clarity and you don't start forcing things at the end of games and sets and the match. The confidence code for mental toughness definitely gets built first off the court. I want you to drop into my course if you haven't already done so. Right down below, there in the description area, there's a link that will take you over to where you can pick up this course. It's a 28-day course. I hold your hand every day for two reasons. Number one is I want to make sure you stay on track, you stay organized with working through the 5 mini mindset skills of this mental toughness course. And then number two, it's an accountability thing. I mean, every day for 28 days, you're getting an email from me, and those two things is what we're going to do. So right down below, there's a link. Make sure you click it and get inside the course today. Bunch of bonuses in there as well that are included at no charge. All right, guys, that's it for me today. Um, it's time. We got to get out there. We got to help someone else have a spectacular day. Guys, I'll see you again next time.